Hey everybody, welcome to this pick a card reading. Okay, and welcome to all of my new subscribers. I was not expecting my last video to, get so many views, and yeah, but thank you. It's honestly a little bit overwhelming, but that's what I get for putting myself out there. So, this reading is going to be, what do they love about you? Okay, this can be multiple people, this can be the person on your mind. It depends. And also, should probably be, what should you love more about yourself as well? Just adjusting the mic. So, yeah. What do they love about you? What do they love about you? Okay, so pile number one, you're gonna be the trophy. Okay. Pile number two, you're gonna be the fairy wind chime. Little fairy wind chime. And pile number three, you are going to be the seashell. You can see. Okay. So go ahead and choose your pile, and I will see you in your reading. I'm actually so excited right now. So, pile number one, if you chose the trophy, what do they love about you? Sorry, I'm just trying to. They love how focused you are, pile number one. They love how you get back up whenever fall down. It's like you always get back up. It's like you're very determined. You're a very determined kind of person. And it's like, as soon as people think that you're done or think that you've given up on something, it's like you always get back up. You know, the analogy I'm getting is like those, I've never seen World War Z, I think that's what it's called, but like, those kinds of, okay. Depending on the fictional universe, right? It's like those zombies, but not in a bad way. I'm not comparing you to zombies in a bad way, pile number one. I'm saying that it's like you get back, you just keep getting back up, okay? Like, you can't be defeated. No matter if someone thinks they defeated you and they're like walking away. Let's say, here's the scenario I'm getting, is like a metaphorical fight, right? And I'm also getting Dragon Ball for some reason. Like, it's like it's like so the rival, right, whoever you are up against, thinks that they've defeated you. They're walking away, they're like, brushing off their hands like, huh, another win, you know what I'm saying? But then it's like, while they're walking away, it's like you get back up, and it's like you're even stronger, and it's like you're even more powerful than you were before. And it's like, whoever your enemy was, it's like they gave that fight their all. Like, that was their best. They did their absolute best. When it's like, when it comes to you, it's like you're just getting started. Like, whatever that was, that first round of whatever the metaphorical fight is, right? Because it doesn't have to be a person, or, whatever your challenges are in life. It's like, round one, you were just getting started. And then round two, if there's even a round two, like you come in and, kablam, you just kablam. And it comes out of left field, it's like unexpected, it's like, yeah. So anyways, you keep getting back up and it's very unexpected because you're underestimated in that way where people think you're down when really you're just getting started. Okay, pile number one. So guess I should hold it to get in touch with the energy. So what do they love about you, pile number one? That you have a vision, that you stay focused on your vision, that you're kind of relentless is what I'm hearing. Relentless. It's honestly impressive how you're able to stay focused or determined or set on a certain goal. It's honestly kind of scary, pile number one. Like it might actually scare people how resilient you are when it comes to your goals. Things that might discourage other people or might make them give up. It's like you're like, okay, cool, next, like I'm gonna keep going. And it's like you don't take your eyes off of the prize, if that makes sense. You don't. Even if people think you're being distracted, you're not actually distracted. You will always have that end goal. You will always have that vision. No matter what. And and it's like you don't sacrifice anything. You don't sacrifice your vision for anything or anyone. That vision always comes first. And not in a bad way, It's like you're dedicated to whatever your mission is. And I'm just getting, you might leave like like a trail of bodies behind you, right? Like metaphorically, like a trail of, broken hearts or something, because it's like you don't sacrifice your vision for anybody, no matter how much and how many people try to get you to lose focus on that vision. You never do, even if you seem distracted, you're not. You will always hold this vision close to you. It's like your baby. It's like John Wick with his dog. I mean, but of course, you know what I'm trying to say. I know John Wick's dog dies, but, right? I think it does, and that's why John Wick goes off on a rampage. But what I'm trying to say here is your vision is very important, to the point where you're willing to go John Wick over it. Okay. Oops. Sorry, I don't know why it goes out of focus. But pile number one, what do they love about you? Your drive is very inspiring, pile number one. You have a very strong drive. I'm also getting Schmeck's drive. Okay, you might have a strong Schmeck's drive. I don't know. Okay. But let's see. Maybe your car, okay? Take this only if it resonates, but maybe they love your car. Okay. Pile number one, what do they love about you? There's something really attractive about how focused you are. There's something actually really attractive about how you don't sacrifice your goals for anybody. It's really admirable. It makes you more attractive, pile number one. Just so you know, the more focused you are and the more ruthless you are about sticking to your goals, the more attractive you are, because it shows people that you're not playing any games. That, like, look, if you don't align with what I want, you're out of my life, period. And it forces them to not only respect you, but admire you and also be attracted to you for that. Like, they're like, whoa, yeah. The fact that you care more about your goals than you do about people, I want to say. And especially, like, I guess, romantic interests, right? It's like, it's really powerful and it's really respectable and admirable how you don't get distracted by silly things or, yeah. Okay, so let's see. Pile number one, what do they love about you? There's something so relentless about you, pile number one, that you're willing to go without food sometimes, that you're willing to, like, you're able to get back up, right? I'm coming back to this analogy about the fight scene where it's like you're willing to get back up even though you're malnourished or like you're all beaten up, right? Like you're able to get back up even if you're in bad shape, if that makes sense. Like a zombie. You know? Like, even if you're metaphorically dead inside, it's like you're still able to get back up. And people have no idea how that's even possible. They're like, don't you need sleep? Like, don't you need food? Like, don't you ever, like, oh my god, sorry. I'm so sorry. The camera keeps going out of focus and I have no idea why. It might be because of the light. I have it like right here. But it's like you get back up under impossible circumstances, in impossible condition. Like your body or your whatever, your condition just could be impossible, but you still manage to get up, and they're like, how? How do you still have fight left? How do you still have energy? I don't get it. It's like you're miraculous in that way, pile number one, where it's like, how have they not given up? Like, people can do everything in their power to try to get you to give up or try to get you to lose hope or lose faith or just feel so defeated and so powerless, but you still manage to get back up under impossible circumstances. Okay, so let's see. Pile number one. Yeah, it's like you don't lose faith. And take that however it resonates, like you don't, either you don't lose faith in God, source, the universe, yourself, a higher power, maybe, or just faith in general, like you always have faith and you always feel like it's possible. It's never impossible for you. Nothing's impossible for you. It's always possible. And it's because of this mindset that you have, this like optimistic mindset, I want to say, that you have, that causes you to be unstoppable and that causes you to get back up under the most impossible circumstances. Because of your perspective, because of your mindset, because that you know that anything's possible for you. You know that you can do anything, pretty much. You know that if there's a will, there's a way, and you have that will. You muster up that will. Or not even muster up, but you just understand that. You understand the concept of willpower, and that being the key to do just about anything. And then you channel that willpower. And that's why you just keep going. And to some people, this just seems absolutely impossible, and they have no idea how you do it. But they just have a different mindset, So pile number 1, let's see, what else? What else do they love about you, pile number 1? There's this warrior energy I'm getting for you, pile number 1. You're not even willing to, it's just, I'm seeing somebody look forward, look ahead, and just walking, or not even walking, but not even waiting, but it's like you don't even see obstacles. All you see is your goal. You literally just bulldoze over those obstacles. You literally just walk through them like they're nothing. And people watch you in awe, how they literally just walk through it. Whereas other people would see that obstacle and get stuck. Whereas you literally just, you don't even see it. You just walk through it. You walk through it. You what's the word? Trailblaze? You trailblaze. Pile number 1. You're a trailblazer, and it's honestly astonishing for people to watch and witness. So let me see. Any last messages for pile number 1? What do they love about you? Pile number 1. This is an interesting message. It's not so. You take your L's in a way and turn them into W's. You take your losses and you turn them into wins. Okay, it's like you're not egotistical. You're still humble. Okay? You still keep your humility, and you understand the importance of taking your quote-unquote failures and just turning them into ways that you can be better. you're just a machine, pile number one. Like, you're a winning machine. Okay? Given the trophy, you picked the trophy. You're a winning machine. You're a freaking Terminator. I don't know, like, what else to. You're like a robot. Not a robot, right? But you just understand. You understand how to win. You understand what it takes to win. And you are not even discouraged by your failures. You just look at them like, okay, this is how I can get better. Okay, this is how I can get better. Okay, this is how I can get better. It's like, yeah, I don't know. You're just a machine, pile number one. Okay. So, yeah, pile number one. That was your reading. I really hope you enjoyed. If you resonated, go ahead and like, share, comment, subscribe. Okay. So let's move on to pile number two. Pile number two, if you chose the fairy wind chime, let's see what people love about you, or what they, whoever it is, right? What do they love about you? What do they love about you? You might have a nice voice, and take that if that resonates, you know. Pile number two, what do they love about you? You're very soft, or your presence is very, very light. Like your energy is very light, pile number two. People don't really feel threatened by you. And I mean that in a good way, you know, like you make people feel comfortable because of how light your energy is. It's not like heavy. Like your energy is not heavy. You're like a warm breeze. Okay, that's what I'm getting here. You might be a supportive person. I think you might be just like supportive, just naturally. Like naturally you're a supportive person. And I keep, so this song is stuck in my head, but it wasn't stuck in my head for pile number two. I mean, pile number one. And now it came back to my head, and it's by Aisha Erotica. And it goes, everybody knows all about me. And it's also this one part where it's like, do you love me? You might also have like a dainty, I want to say, kind of like vibe, or like a fairy vibe, right? Like, because you picked the fairy wind chime, right? Like you might resemble a fairy in your energy. Pile number two, sorry, I said pile number one, I mean pile number two. You're pile number two. But people can't really be mad at you. They just love you. Like, I don't know. People just love you. People fall in love with you. People want to have S with you. You're also this mythical creature. Like, you're majestic, pile number two. It's like you are like a little vapor. I don't know how to describe this right now. Like your energy is so light, so not dense, so comforting. I don't want to say comforting, but like not heavy. It's light. Your energy is light to the point where you're like a dream, pile number two. People feel like they're dreaming or they're in some sort of fantasy land when they're in your presence. And they feel like you're not even real, but like not in a bad way, right? They just like feel this otherworldly energy from you, pile number two. To the point, and also when you're gone or when you're out of someone's presence, right? Or you leave, it's like it's as if you were okay, and I don't mean this in a weird way, but it's like the person questions whether you were even there. I don't know, like it's you take your energy with you, or your energy is so airy. Like you might be an air sign, or you're like a wind, and it just keeps like you flow, and it's like I don't know how to describe this, man. It's like people can't grasp at you. People can't grasp at your energy when you're not in their presence. I mean, I don't think people can grasp at you regardless, but it's like, especially when you're gone, it's like people are like, wait, what just happened? And what dimension was I just in? They're like, where was I just now when pile two was in my presence? Where was I just now? And it's like they're back to the real world. They're back to the 3D. They're back to density. Whereas when they were with you, it's like they were in this fairyland. It's like they were in like the fae realm when they were in your presence. And to the point where it felt like a dream. When they're out of your presence, it felt like a dream. It felt like, did I just wake up from a dream? Okay. Pile number two. You trip people out, pile number two. Like you really do. You trip people out. There's something about you also that doesn't really care about like you allow people to think whatever they want to think about you. And you're not worried about proving anything to anybody. You're literally just a walking example of who you are. You're just leading by example, and you're just you're not trying to push any sort of lifestyle on anyone. You just are who you are, which happens to be this other dimensional, like higher vibrational like person who happens to be very light and dreamy and schmexy, I want to say. And you don't try to make sense of yourself to other people, or you don't try to prove anything about yourself to anybody. And I guess that's what people love about you. That's what they love about you. And it makes them more intrigued because they're like, why aren't they explaining why? Like, why are they so dreamy? Why are they like this? And why aren't, it's just such a mystery, you know? Like, you don't explain yourself, or you don't feel the need to explain yourself. You just are who you are, and it makes them wonder about you. And it also makes them kind of like, how can they just exist like that? Like, how can they just be like that and the way they are and not explain who they are? If that makes sense. I really hope that makes sense. Like, how can pile number 2 be the way they are and not explain it? They need an explanation, pile number 2. These people need an explanation, but the thing is, if you gave them an explanation, they probably would not be able to understand. You know, they would probably have to learn your language, if that makes sense. They would probably have to be familiar with your spirit and your aura and your soul's origin and your, you know, ethereal makeup, if that makes sense. So it's like maybe you also have gotten to this point where you just don't explain yourself anymore. You just don't feel the need to explain yourself. You're like, well, whatever. People can think whatever they want about me, and I'm okay with being this mystery. And yeah, you know, like you're just like, whatever, I'm just gonna be me, even if that doesn't make sense to anybody. And you might not make sense to people, but it's like, to you, you make sense to yourself. And that's enough for you. And people are left wondering, and you're kind of handing that responsibility to them to perceive you however they want to perceive you. You know, a lot of people try to prove themselves, or a lot of people try to, I don't know how to describe this. Like, a lot of people try to make people think certain things about them. But you're like, no, that's your responsibility. Whatever you think about me, that's up to you. That's not up to me. How you think about me, that's up to you. And that's what they love about you, pile number 2. And it's almost amusing and funny how much you really don't care. Like, how much you really don't care about making people understand you, if that makes sense. How much you don't care for that, you know? So pile number 2, what do they love about you? Seriously, you're like this like fantasy for a lot of people. Or you're like, you really do give fairy energy, like Tinkerbell, like you're like this, you know what I'm getting is in Naruto, when he does the shadow jiu-jitsu or whatever, the clone or whatever, and he turns into this like beautiful naked woman, like, you know, and it's like this fantasy that you can't touch. People can't touch you. People can't grasp you. It's like you're on a whole different planet, right? But you're so beautiful and majestic and mythical. You know, it's like you're a fairy and no one can touch you. It's like you're holographic, right? And it's giving siren as well. It's giving siren energy as well. Like, you might have a beautiful voice, like I said in the beginning. It's like you draw people in. You're very alluring. But it's like when they try to go and grab you, it's like vapor. It's like a cloud. And they're like, wait, I thought this was solid. You know, like I thought I could reach out and like and touch you, but it's like they can't. You're like this, I don't even know, other dimensional, like you can't even be touched. It's like, oh gosh, I'm just adjusting my position because I'm uncomfortable. But it's like people can't even grasp or touch you. when you look real, I don't know how to describe this. Like, yeah, pile number 2. Let's see. Any last messages about what do they love about you? Pile number 2. You might come into people's lives like for short amounts of time. And then you leave. It's like you always have another place to go. Okay? It's like it's giving butterfly energy. It's giving like, okay, you're here and you're chilling, on this flower, and then it's to the next flower. And then I don't know, because I'm kind of tired, so it's hard to explain. But it's like you show up in different places and then you move on to the next place. And because you're needed in those places, it's like you're divinely orchestrated or drawn or intuitively drawn to certain places at certain times. And you're needed in a lot of different places at different times, if that makes sense. So it's like that's another way in which people can't get a hold of you. People can't grasp you. You're not permanent for certain people. You're only meant to be in certain people's lives for a short amount of time. But when you're there, it's like such a gift, It's like when you're in certain people's lives for the time that you are, it's such a gift that they'll probably cherish for the rest of their lives and think back and be like, wow, what a trip that pile number 2 was, like what a dream. It's like they question whether you were even human. Okay, pile number 2. And yeah, so with the whole being needed at different places and different times, that's another way in which people can't really grasp you. They can't keep you, pile number 2, because you have other things, you have better things to be doing, and you can't be kept. That's the thing, like you can't be kept, you can't be captured, you can't be somewhere permanently because you're always moving. And that brings me back to whether you might be an air sign or something. Yeah. Okay, pile number 2. That was your reading. Excuse me. I don't know why that just happened. Pile number 2, that was your reading. Let me know what you think. If this resonated, go ahead and like, share, comment, subscribe. And I'm going to find my water before I move on to pile number 3. Everybody knows all about me. See you all the time. Want my body. Okay. Put this here. Okay. Pile number 3. I'm gonna change my position again. Ugh. I'm just uncomfortable. Pile number 3, if you guys chose the seashell. Okay. This is your reading. Okay, let's see what people love about you. What do people love about, or what do they, right? Let's keep it a little vague. What do they love about you, pile number 3? They love how sweet you are, and also giddy is also what I'm getting. Like, they love how giddy you are, or sweet, or giggly. I want to say you might laugh a lot, pile number 3. What do they love about you? You're really easy to get along with, pile number 3. You're someone to laugh with, is what I'm getting. People really love laughing and joking with you. You're not judgmental either, pile number 3. You're not a judgmental person. People feel safe with you. They feel safe joking with you. They feel safe talking with you. I'm getting this example of, like, if you were at a party and there was someone shy at the party, the shy person would go to you to feel more comfortable at the party, if that makes sense. Like, they would feel so relieved to find you at the party. They would be like, oh my God, thank God you're here. Because you just make people feel seen and comfortable, and like they can, I don't know how to describe this, but yeah, you're like a comfort to a lot of people because of how cool you are and how relatable, and yeah. It's like you can also see a bunch of different perspectives. That's why a lot of people find you to be their comfort zone, okay? Because you're able to see. You have a very nice perspective, pile number 3, when it comes to other people. Your perspective is very, very safe for other people. You're a safe person for other people, okay? Whether you know this or not, whether you are aware of this, it's like other people gravitate towards you because they know you'll get it, okay? You get other people, you get it. Like, when people talk to you, when people say jokes, especially when people say jokes to you, it's like you get it. And you're able to build off of that. You're able to build off of the energy that other people give to you. You know, you're able to add to it. You're able to reciprocate. You're able to communicate. And then it's like, again, with you're not judgmental. You're not a judgmental person. Or you come off as non-judgmental, okay? Because I feel like everybody can be somewhat judgmental to some extent, but it's like with you, pile number 3, and I'm sorry if I've been saying pile 1 or pile 2. I get it wrong sometimes. But with you, pile number 3, people don't feel judged by you. Okay. So pile number 3, what do they love about you? Sorry, I just need to tap in here. What do they love about pile number 3? You're the kind of person who everybody invites to a party because they know that you're the glue, right? You're the glue that sticks other people together. You're the person who introduces other people, or you're the person who makes people feel comfortable socializing. Okay? You're very, very, very important when it comes to social things. Like, you are such an important person, pile number 3. Whether you know this or not, you are such an important person when it comes to harmonizing social gatherings, social events, social whatevers. Okay, whatever. You are so important and you are so valuable when it comes to groups of people and when it comes to making people feel comfortable interacting with each other. Because you bring that comfort, you make it less harsh, okay? You make socializing less harsh just with your vibe and your, again, non-judgmental kind of like approach. And then you being able to see other people's perspectives, right? Like if two people were having a debate in front of you, you'd be able to see both of their perspectives, and you'd be able to, if you did do this, you'd be able to resolve the debate by combining their perspectives and seeing both of them being like, see, you guys don't have to be debating. You're both right, basically. And they'd be like, yeah, huh, wow, thanks, pile number 3. I guess we don't, it doesn't have to be that harsh. I don't know, you're able to see different perspectives, and it's giving Libra energy. I wouldn't be surprised if you have Libra in your chart, pile number 3. Okay. So what do they love about you, pile number 3? You might have people have crushes on you, pile number 3, because of how friendly you are, or like your ability to socialize. And if you're the kind of person who you don't resonate with this pile, then you don't resonate, okay? By now you'll know if you resonate with this pile, but like your social skills, your social abilities kind of intimidate other people. They're like, damn, how is she so, or he or they, how is pile 3 so good at, talking to people? How are they so good at relating to people? And they're kind of like, not intimidated, but it's like something really admirable, right? It's what they love about you. This is what they love about you. The fact that you being thrown in any sort of social situation, you're able to handle it. You're able to make people feel comfortable. You're able to be that glue. Okay? You're able to be that glue. You're able to make social things work. You're very important. And not a lot of people have this skill. Not a lot of people have the social skills that you have, pile number 3, to really make or break an event. You have the power to make or break an event. And what I mean by that is that, like, your presence makes it. The lack of your presence might break it. Okay? So, that's how important you are when it comes to socializing. When people invite you, they're counting on you coming. Not to guilt trip you, pile number 3, but like when people invite you, they're counting on you to be that really crucial person at a party or an event, because they know that you'll really break the ice with a lot of people there. Like you'll really make a lot of people feel comfortable. Or because you're going to a certain event, other people will feel comfortable coming too because you're coming. And they're like, oh yeah, of course. You know, if pile 3 is going to be there, I'm going because pile 3 makes me feel comfortable. And if I don't like anybody at this party, at least pile 3 will be there because that'll make it worth it, basically. People also want to be on your good side, pile number 3. Let's see what else. Let's see any last messages for pile number 3 because I'm getting kind of tired. Pile number 3, what do they love about you? Oh my gosh, like, not only do you make people feel comfortable around you, but just the fact that you're so, and I keep bringing this up, you know, if you resonate, you resonate. If you don't, you don't. But like, the fact that your social skills are so good, people get crushes on you because you're so charming. And this is why I would not be surprised if you're a Libra, because people also might kind of get flustered around you, depending on who it is. But like, you might be a really beautiful person as well, pile number 3. Like, you might just be also beautiful inside and out, and it might make people have crushes on you. Yeah, like, people might also get nervous around you, but they want to talk to you, and you're so good at talking. And it's like, I don't know, it's like, you know, when you get nervous around someone who seems confident, you know, in their social abilities and their ability to interact with other people, because they're like, oh my gosh, like, they're making eye contact with me. Like, you might be really good at making eye contact, or just like responding, listening, and like actively listening and actively responding. And they're like, oh, I'm not as good as pile number 3. So they might get a little nervous. Although, and it's hard to explain because you do make people feel comfortable with your ability to socialize, but you also make them nervous because they're not as good as you when it comes to socializing. Okay? And then they also like have a crush on you because of how charming you are. So it's hard to pay attention, or it's hard to come up with, like, people love being in your presence, but they also might find it hard to focus on interacting with you in the best way because they're trying to think of the next thing to say, or they're trying to like impress you, or like, I don't know, people might just get flustered in your presence, pile number 3. Okay. Let's see. What do they love about you? A lot of people have crushes on you, pile number 3. Whether you know this or not, a lot of people have crushes on you. And it's like, I'm just getting this vision of someone trying to come up to talk to you, but they kind of get psyched out and they're like talk to you in a romantic way, right? And they assume that you have options, or they assume that people come up to you. Or they assume that, like, I don't know. They're like, okay, I'm gonna go up to pile number 3 and I'm gonna like ask pile number 3 out, and I'm gonna like ask for pile number 3's number, or like, I'm gonna do it. And then they're like, I don't know. And it might also be the power that you hold in social settings, the status that you have. And it's like, I'm also getting this vibe from you that's like, what? Just do it. Like, just ask me out. Like, why don't they just come up to me and ask me out? But it's like, for them, it's not that simple because you are very socially powerful. Pile number 3. You hold a lot of social power and charm to the point where it seems effortless. Even if you are putting effort into it, it seems effortless to other people. And they're just not as smooth as you. Okay, they're just like, oh, I'm not as smooth as pile number 3. Okay. So that's what they love about you, pile number 3. If this resonated, go ahead and like, share, comment, subscribe. Okay. Let me know what you think in the comments. Okay. So, yes, that was the reading, guys. That was it. Okay. So, I hope you have a good rest of your day, night, whatever. Okay. Bye, guys.